Hi again, this is Cesar Escalante, Application Specialist with Ideate. And I'm here to discuss an issue reported by schedules, and this is the inability to add carriage return at the end of a cell entry. So on the screen, you see node block schedule. So it's a simple 5 keynotes that I have on the model views. Something we know it works, it's on schedules or in any cell parameter. You can click on a cell and use the combination of Control Enter to add a different value. And then by clicking Enter, you have a multi-line embedded into a schedule, right? The issue that I'm trying to discuss is that their Control Enter doesn't work when I try to add an empty space at the end of a cell paragraph. Here I am on row number 3, and when I click Control Enter, and then I do an empty space and do Enter again, nothing changes, right? In some forums, they reported that if you do this and do the Control Enter and then add a numerical value like the ASIC code alt0160, and that doesn't work either. So one of the workarounds is to actually make use of parameters that report character numbers equal to the number of lines. So the idea here is that we create a new parameter under the fields reported by the schedules. And this parameter is, I'm just going to call it carriage for carriage returns. It's going to report integers and it's of the instance type. This certainly adds a new schedule on the right side. So if I add a value of 2 digits. I mean, the number of line reported by this keynote, it's a single one, right? So if I add the value of or 110 and then copy paste on all of them. The idea here is that this additional column, I make it very, very narrow so that it forces a space return, right? So this is the space that I was looking for, but now I need to find a way to get rid of this column, at least make it invisible. If I select column number C and I try to change the font to white color, Revit doesn't understand that. White color in Revit, it equals to black. But you can change the font color to something that it's almost white. In fact, it's as white as it can be. I changed it to the RGB color of 254 on each of the values. Viola, that's what I got, right? This would work pretty well. It would give you the print that you're looking for. But if you're trying to do this on a very lengthy schedules that have multiple different lines of paragraphs, then the process is a little bit more tedious because you have to manually check how many lines are in every cell and then add the same amount of characters on that invisible parameter. So one thing that you can do is utilize BIMLink to do that. BIMLink exports the data into Excel, and we can make those edits in Excel where it's far more easier to do. So I have already prepared a link here. It's a node block of the instance parameters. I'm going to add the description, the key name, and also the key number, and add this up, and also the project parameter that I created, which is the carriage. Add it. I'm going to move this down and export this data into an Excel spreadsheet and open it for edit. in an Excel spreadsheet, then the carriage return in Excel is Alt Enter. So Alt Enter, and I do this line 2, then I do 2 here, Alt Enter, line 2, Alt Enter, line 3, and I'll enter line 4, etc. Right. So the carriage return has to report a number of characters equal to the number of lines in the paragraph. So in Excel, I'm going to add a formula that I already have prepared on a Word document here on the side screen. And I'm just going to paste it into the carriage cell button. So what this is doing is basically counting the amount of characters, including the carriage returns on this cell, substitute the carriage return by nothing, subtract the 2 values to give me the total count of carriage return, and then power 10 to that value and multiply it by 10 in order to give me the exact amount of character needed to break the column at the appropriate point. So in this example, this cell has 2 lines. I need 3 characters. In this case, I'm going to need, this cell has three lines. I'm going to need 4 characters. So I'm just going to copy, Control C, Control B, this formula in all these guys. And then if I ever need to add an extra line here, using Alt Enter, and I add line 4, the cell will change, right? I'm going to save this and close the Excel, and then re-import it. Re-import it. And then I click Import, close, and there it is. I got the carriage return as needed for a multi-cell paragraph.